morning has been spectacular. This morning has been spectacular. Right?
Yeah.
Those guys were great. Oh my God. Welcome to Alaska Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Linda Steiner, and I'm one of many, many, many licensed practitioners. Just apparently one that was able to get out of bed this morning. So, you got me? Good. We'd like to welcome everybody, and just in case this is your first time, if you are a first-time person, if you're bold enough to raise your hand, we have a little packet to give you, a little gift. So if you're so brave and want to raise your hand, if not, you can always get one afterwards. But welcome, welcome, welcome to the Alaska Center of Spiritual Living. Okay, so today's announcements, which I get to talk about right after I talk about prayer. So we are built on prayer. We love to pray. Prayer rocks. It changes your world. It changes us. So if you need a prayer before you leave today, if there's something heavy on your heart, just tap one of the practitioners on the shoulder. And the practitioners we have today are me. We have Judy in the back. We have Bob on sound. And we've got Robert next door doing the kids. So you can also write out your prayer request. We have written prayer request in the back, and there's a little box that you can put it in. And then if you're like me, your prayer crisis will come at an off time. And so I love being able to just get on my phone and go to our website and put in a prayer request. Because as soon as you push that button, that prayer has ascended. So, awesome. So our announcements for today. Oh, awesome. Tiffany, do you want to say anything about the business meeting?
Business meeting.
Can you tell Tiffany's on her way out as president?
I got a year left on the council.
Yeah.
So our business meeting is going to be on April 23rd after service.
April 23rd.
We ask that if you can be in attendance, please be in attendance for it. It's not going to take up a lot of your time. We're going to go over, the annual financials, but most importantly, we're going to be electing new members to the Leadership Council. And so that's your opportunity to vote for who you want to have on that Leadership Council for the next year. If it's something that you're considering, if it's something that feels really warm in your heart, I encourage you to get an application, pray on it, submit that application. I think our deadline is coming up in the next week or so, maybe, for those. The commitment for you, we generally meet about 6 times a year right now. So instead of going for monthly meetings, we're sort of doing every 2 months on the meetings. And 1 day a month, and then special projects as assigned.
Yes, I love that. Special projects as assigned. So business meeting April 23rd. You need to be here in person to help vote. We need, a quorum.
We need a quorum.
So please come. And if your heart is being tugged to be a member of the Leadership Council, then go where your heart takes you. And that goes for everybody online also. So any questions, you can ask any of the practitioners. You can ask Tiffany. You can ask Reverend Don, who's up at his cabin today. So that's happening. That's the 23rd. And do we have any other? Oh, there we go. Oh, Gail's Drumming Circle. Who's been to a drumming circle? Okay, those who didn't raise your hand, put this down. March 25th, 1:30 to 3. She brings in like 75 different drums. And you sit around. Oh, my God, it's a blast. And you get to sit around and you drum. It's amazing. If you've never had that experience, March 25th, 1:30 to 3, right here. Do it. Mindful eating. Okay, so the end of the season of peace. The committee is putting together mindful eating. So what is that? We eat. We eat things good for us. I'm not sure I'm going to make it. Sorry. So you don't have to bring a thing. You just get to come and enjoy really healthy food that I absolutely know is delicious. So please help us close this year's Season of Peace by joining us in fellowship, and that's on April 2nd. Okay, this choir, aren't they amazing? Well, and half the choir wasn't able to come today, and they just stepped up and did it. And so we're inviting you to come and step up. You don't have to be able to sing. I know, that's why I'm in the choir. They put up with me. But the prerequisites to being in the choir is that you want to be around a bunch of people who like to laugh and have fun. And you show up Sundays at 9:30. So if you want to be a part of something that's really fantastic, join this amazing choir. You can ask Erin or, again, any of the practitioners for any details. But as far as we're concerned, you're already members of the choir. It's just a matter of where you're sitting. So,
Linda, if you can sing in the shower, you can sing with us.
oh, yeah, if you sing in the shower, hey, we'll turn some water on. You'll have a great time. So spike prayer. Okay, so the other thing is our sound team. Our sound team would like to have a couple of people help back them up. So if that's calling to you, please, please, please say yes. Say yes. Everybody right now say yes.
Yes.
All right, there's your sound team, guys. Okay, well, today's speaker loves dogs, long walks on the beach, chocolate, and prayer. So I hope you will welcome her when she steps up to speak. But before she does, let's have some more amazing music. My name is Linda Steiner, and I'm one of those licensed practitioners. And I'm your speaker today. Thank you. It's been a crazy morning here at the Alaska Center for Spiritual Living. And just to prove it, I always kind of dress up when I do my talks. And so I grabbed my shoes, and it was when I got here that not only did I realize that I had two separate shoes, but I also brought right shoes. So, you're all invited to take your shoes off. Let's get comfortable today. Yeah, it's been a morning, so. You can't stop love. You can't stop love. Yes? Currently, there are 420 bills that are before state legislators across this country looking to ban lesbian, gay, transgender, queer people. We're talking about banning drag queens from existing. They are not allowed to be in public, in the presence of children, within 1,000 feet of a church, school, or public park. Alaska is screwed, isn't it? Well, there's no place. So my question is this, what are the clowns gonna do in the 4th of July parade? They're gonna be banned. There's some more serious laws that are in place now to take transgendered youth away from their parents and to charge their parents with child abuse. They're looking to repeal the gay marriage laws. So you all know Lynn and Marion. They've been together for 45 years. 45 years. They've only been able to be married the last 15, and they got married when it was legal in California. Our very own brand new Ladora and Sue. You guys have been together for 41 years? 41 years. And you got married in 2013. Oh my God. And it was your kids that told you to get married, right? Yeah, the kids were like, could you make it legal? Anybody here want to volunteer to tell them that they can't be married? Does anyone want to go up to Ladora and say, are you sure? Are you sure? It's only 45 years. Are you sure? Same thing with Lynn and Marion. It just seems kind of ridiculous, doesn't it? Why do we even care, right? So I have been gay since my first memories were in 3rd grade. So it was never, I don't know, me waking up one day and looking at a really good-looking guy, looking at a really good-looking girl, and go, oh, I want her. Just kind of came in the package that I am. So back then in the old days, 80s and 90s, we used to have a secret organization here in town. A secret organization that you actually had to be sponsored to come into this organization's events. And why did you need to be sponsored? Because the members of the events were people like teachers and principals. We had some lawyers. We had other people working in the court system, counselors. And every single one of them, if found out, would have been fired from their jobs. Think about that. You're gay, you're a teacher, you're out. No other reason. Wow, doesn't that suck? Is this where I ask if you're having a good time already? And the other thing about that organization was a lot of people had kids. A lot of people had kids, and your kids would be taken away in a second if you were discovered to be gay. I remember trying to pick the straightest gay guy I could to take to my Christmas party, to take to my company's Christmas party so that I would be accepted. We weren't allowed as family to see our partners in the hospital. So if your partner was sick and in the hospital, you were not allowed in. And I think that was kind of one of the things that pushed everything over the edge. It was like, how can you even separate partners at that time? What changed? We spoke out, we stood up, we came out. And then what happened is everyone all of a sudden discovered that they knew somebody gay, right? And it was our moms, it was our sisters, it was our neighbors, it was our teachers. Oh my God, everybody knew somebody who was gay. And all of a sudden, people were connected. And people weren't about to let their neighbor, their teacher, their mom get trashed over what? Something you're not even a part of? So, when and I admit, I had troubles in my own families. When my dad died unexpectedly in Fairbanks, and I had to call my brother to come join us in an emergency, and he had some feelings. I was not someone that he was allowed to be seen in public with. And he told me that. He was not allowed because his job said that if you're seen with her, you'll be fired. That's my straightest man on the planet. But when he came in for my dad's transition, we were down there for a craft show. And all of a sudden, I'm running out of the arena. We're leaving the craft booth. I'm running to the hospital. I could care less what was going on. But people had to step up and help us. And unbeknownst to me, my parents had their own lesbians. Like people I didn't know, but they had their own crop of lesbians. And you know what? They're the people who showed up and packed up our booth. They're the people who picked up my brother from the airport. They're the ones who came to the hospital. And from that day forward, my brother wasn't as vocal. He kind of went. As a matter of fact, my mother challenged him and said, if you have any problems with this. And he looked at her and he said, I have absolutely no problem. Absolutely no problem. Because it touched him. It touched him in our worst moment. People showed up for us. People we didn't know. Things have changed. We can get married. We can get divorced. We can adopt kids. We cannot be fired from our jobs. You still can be fired from your job, but not necessarily openly. We're going to have to get you some other way. Ernest Holmes shares this. Through the mist of human fear, love gleams and points the way to freedom. You can't stop love. So, question for you guys. Have you ever felt dismissed, unwelcomed, rejected, not enough, not wanted? Who's a few of us have had that experience. Can you imagine what transgender kids are going through right now? Not only are they trying to be teenagers and coming into their own life, but now they're being hounded. They're being sought out. They're being attacked. There are laws that are being passed that they get to be ripped away from their family, that they don't get to have health care that is beneficial to who they're becoming. Can you imagine being 13, 14, 15, 30, and having that amount of hate unleashed on you? Can you imagine that? But you can't stop love. You can't stop love. I heard a new saying this week, and I love this saying. It's, the cheese is sliding off my cracker. That just sounds like the cheese is sliding off my cracker. That just sounds like what I was thinking of doing. The cheese is sliding off my cracker. I'm getting angry. I'm getting mad. I'm feeling less than, not wanted. And it's like, why? I like dogs and long walks on the beach. I like chocolate. But thank God. Thank God I have this center. Thank God I have my faith. Thank God that when I was starting to go down a road I did not want to go down, which is hate, fear, retaliation, how dare they, how could you? I remembered what we teach here. Fear to faith. Fear to faith. How do I take my fear? How does Linda Steiner take her fear and turn it into faith? I can't tell you how many classes I've taught this in. Can't tell you. I'm looking at people going, yeah, just turn it into faith. Turn your fear into faith. And now when I'm faced with a situation where my fear was overwhelming and I had to go, do you really believe that? Fear into faith. So what does that mean? Well, fear, to me, is someone who's not connected to faith, who is serving perhaps an outside God. Their God isn't personal, it's not within. They're feeling separation. They don't feel connected to me. They don't feel connected to you. If you were to say, are we one? Are we all one? What do you think they would say? My guess is they would say no. My people are one. My church is one. The people who believe like I do are one, but I'm not one with you. Science of Mind teaches that we're trying to create a world that works for everyone. For everyone. And so when I look at the people who are here today, I realize that we do feel like we're one, right? Tom, do you feel connected? Yeah. Judy, do you feel like you're a part of this community? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you guys feel the love in this room on Sundays when you walk in? Is it only for certain people that we feel the love? No? Okay, so yeah. So this side I love, this side I'm not so sure about today. And the hardest thing about this, knowing that I'm a child of God, you're a child of God, is that with every breath you take, it's a breath I take. What your experience is becomes my experience. What makes me feel connected and safe is being in a room full of people who believe that the universe has got their back, that God is within, not without, and that we can make a difference. You thought about that? You can make a difference? Do you feel like you can make a difference? Well, everybody's really quiet this morning. Should I show the shoes again? Where's the shoes? So think about this. We are all one. I'm connected to you. You're connected to me. If I pull the string this way, you're coming with me. If you pull the string that way, I'm following you. Your experience is my experience. And the people who are being most vocal about wanting these changes, I can only think that they don't feel loved. That they feel like the only way they can be a part of a community is to be in a community of hate. And I'm so far from the truth. So crap. Fear to faith means forgiveness. I need to be in a forgiving space for people who are coming up against me. That I need to be that space of love, even in the face of people wanting to put me on an island or people wishing that I was dead. They certainly don't want me around their kids. But you can't stop love. Say that. You can't stop love. You just can't, can you? No. You cannot stop love. So it was, let me get the date right. It was June 12th, 2016, and I was the practitioner of the day. And I got up here and I was really emotional because about 12 hours earlier, some guy had walked into the Pulse nightclub in Florida and had killed 49 people and put another 50 in the hospital. He showed up at that club with his AK whatever and shot people to death because he hated them. He hated gays. And you know what? He didn't know anybody there. Oh, he was hating on a big scale. So I stood up here on that morning and I was emotional because I was like, how long before they come after me? How long before they come after my friends? Because if you don't see your worth, you will always choose people who don't see it either. Mandy Hale wrote exactly that. If you don't see your worth, you'll always choose people who don't see it either. When your self-esteem rises, your life follows. Ernest said, something in me knows what to do. I joyfully accept its guidance. I'm up here, I'm emotional. It also happens to be June, so it's Pride Month. And our church decided to be a part of the Pride Parade, right? So I'm up here and I say to everybody, we need you. We need your help. Oh, there we go. The community needs to know that you are there and you have our back. And so would you please join us for Pride? That's what I said. Then I walked away from it. I wasn't on the committee and I did absolutely nothing to make this event happen. My job was to show up. Well, the next thing I know, Dana and Jean decided to create a rainbow. A huge mother of a rainbow. Huge. It took them 100 hours to create this rainbow. Look at 100 hours to create a rainbow, and they're not gay. We put it on a trailer. The kids all made signs, love, peace. And my favorite was signs that said, we teach. We teach love and peace. Oh my God, we got bright colored t-shirts, pink and green and yellow and orange, and people wore them. And it's the morning of the parade, and I get there and there's a few people there, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, we're gonna have some fun. There's Midnight wearing his little, he actually was wearing a t-shirt that said Alaska Center for Spiritual Living. So I'm there, you have to get there so early if you're in a parade, stand around so everybody's in wait. So I'm sitting there and I'm just like talking to people, and I turn around and there's a bunch of our congregation. I'm like, wow, okay, this is gonna be fun. I go talk to somebody else or whatever. I turn around again, and there's a whole lot more of our congregation there. And I'm talking people who have never been to a pride parade ever, showing up in bright colored t-shirts, standing next to a float with a rainbow on it. Oh my God. And then we're about to start. And I look behind me, and it's the entire congregation is standing with me, behind me, on the float. We've got moms, we've got dads, we've got grandkids, we've got dogs, we've got uncles, we've got everybody. And I knew just before we started the parade, Kaleem comes in, sliding in sideways with a second to go before we start. Because he's always just right on time. And I was like, Kaleem is here! And he's leading the parade. He's in front of the float. And I'm just sitting there going, oh my God. Oh my God. It's like all my favorite people in the world were marching with me in this pride parade. We had more people with our float than we did on the sidelines watching us. Oh my God, you can't stop love. You can't stop love. Oh, the next thing I know, Kaleem, I don't even know what we were screaming, but he got everybody to do chants. So here's the Alaska Center for Spiritual Living doing the parade route, screaming, you can't stop love. Do you guys have any idea how I felt that day? Do you have any inkling as to the love that I felt that day? Can you feel it? People who had never been to Pride before, standing next to me, marching down the middle of Anchorage. You can't stop love. Wow. What an amazing experience. And I can only hope that everybody who showed up, look at all those people. These are all our people. Showed up in love, gave love, showed people how to love. And that's what we have done here. This might be some brick or mortar walls, but we, you, me, have created this space of acceptance. We've created a space of love. We've created a space where come through the door as you are. You're welcomed here. We got you. Do you guys feel that when you walk through the door? Do you feel like you're home? Do you feel like you're accepted? Do you feel like there's somebody here who would sit and talk with you? And that you're a part of something much, much bigger than those 420 bills of hate? The feeling of love is so overwhelming. it overwhelms that feeling of hate. It reminds me who I am when I walk into this center with you all. I'm reminded of who I am. I'm a child of God. I was born in love, and I'm going to die in love, and I'm surrounded by love. Because I've been on the other end. I've been in the hate. Don't recommend it. So yeah, young, old, gay, straight, transgender. Maybe you're lonely, maybe you're dealing with addiction, maybe you're dealing with grief, maybe you're dealing with your own fear. Come here, come be with us. Feel the love in this building and leave love behind in this building. So I'm going to bring this talk to a close, but I have some homework or some suggestions for you. First, introduce yourself to somebody in the congregation you don't know today. Just, I see some people that I don't know. And go say hi to somebody. Just say hi. I'm not asking you to go out to dinner or have children together. Just say hi. This person that you say hi to might become your best friend. You never know. So that's your first assignment. Your second assignment is this week as you're out in the public. And I know that there are certain people that I see that I go, oh, or or And I challenge you, as I challenge myself, to pick one of those people and compliment them on something. I like your boots. Wow, that's a lot of earrings. That's really cool. Or, how did you get your hair that way? So I challenge you. Go up to somebody that makes you feel uncomfortable that you don't know and compliment them. Do you know what's going to happen? Any guesses on what's going to happen? They're going to turn to you with the biggest smile on their face and say thank you. Because you can't stop love. You can't stop love. You can turn your fear into faith. And you don't have to dress a certain way. You don't have to be able to say certain doctrine. You don't have to have money. You don't have to, All you have to do is look somebody in the eye and go, wow, I really like how your hair looks today. Can you guys do that for me this week? Because this means there's a whole lot of people who are going to have a compliment this week who probably don't normally get compliments, who probably feel hate. But we're going to change that around this week. And then the last thing that I'm going to ask you to do, because I want you to really feel the love in this building, is that rainbow. That rainbow that took 100 hours. And that wasn't even getting it on the float or Reverend Don trying to drive it. We still have it. We still have it. It's in the kids' room. It's in the kids' room. Go see that rainbow today before you leave. Touch it. Feel it. See how much love went into that rainbow that we created. You created. And take some of that love with you. We make a difference just by existing. You make a difference just by smiling at someone. I'm not asking you to protest. I'm not asking you to call people. What I'm asking you to do is don't stop the love. Bring the love. Go look at that rainbow. Remember who you are, a child of God, a chosen child of God. And what do you want to be remembered for doing on this planet? I hope you remember that I couldn't bring the right shoes. I hope you remember that it was a screwy day and Linda did an awful lot up on that podium today. But you can't stop the love. So guys, thank you for being part of my love field, my love force. Thank you for being my witnesses to, I'm not going to buy into the hate. I'm going to buy into the love. And it's because of you guys. It's you guys. You guys. Thank you. Thank you. Got that off my chest. And so now let's just step into prayer. So on this Sunday of all Sundays, we just simply step into that absolute knowingness, that power in the presence of the One. In this room, in us, through us, as us, in our kids, in a rainbow on the wall. All things are possible in faith. All things are possible in love. And so it's with that knowingness that we just simply acknowledge that perhaps somebody's facing some relationship issues or health issues. Maybe you're in grief or you don't know where rent is coming from next month. But what we do know is that there is the power in a source that if you state your intention, that it will come. That we can choose how we live. We can be examples. But most of all, we can do what we've been sent here to do, which is to be with each other, accept each other, and love the heck out of each other. No matter if you look and act and work like I do. God put everyone here. And so this week we just simply step into that understanding and that knowingness, and we make a difference. And we're just grateful and we're in gratitude about having a place like this and having a philosophy that challenges us to do the hard thing, to stand up and say, I can be counted. That when we recognize that one person who is never seen, that we're going to change their world. And as we change their world, it changes ours. So I'm just grateful and thankful. Oh, I am so glad to be here and to be a part of this philosophy, because it sure is a whole lot better than back when I was in a secret organization, having to know the secret code to get in. So I take this emotion, I take these feelings, and I take this knowingness, and most of all, I take all of my love and I just release it into that universe that always bounces back to us. So knowing that not only am I soaked in love today, but I get to soak all of you in love today. And I get to soak those outside of this building in love today. Yes. Help me anchor this with joy by saying, and so it is. Woo!